Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to some and present to others Dinesh Joseph D'Souza, born April 25th, 1961, in Mumbai, India. He is an Indian American right-wing political commentator, conspiracy theorist, author, and filmmaker. He has made several films and written over a dozen books, several of them on the New York Times bestsellers list. He has never been a friend of Black Americans. So let's talk about him. This man's life in America has followed the trajectory of many conservative immigrants that they don't know about until it's too late. So today we're looking at a question that's been circulating online. Why did some MAGA supporters suddenly turn against Dinesh D'Souza, and were they ever fully aligned with him in the first place? Now, this isn't about attacking anyone. This is about understanding a pattern that keeps showing up in American politics, especially around identity, belonging, and who gets accepted into certain movements. So let's break it down. Let's bottom line Dinesh D'Souza's relationship with MAGA. Here's the thing. MAGA never fully embraced him as one of them. And the recent backlash simply exposed tensions that were already there. The latest reporting shows a rise in anti-Indian sentiment inside certain MAGA factions, and D'Souza has been shocked to find himself targeted by the same movement he has defended for decades. Here's the core issue. He was useful. He was not accepted. Now, this is Jason Black talk right here. He was never accepted. He was just useful. Dinesh D'Souza was always aligned with MAGA politically, but culturally and racially, he was never truly embraced as a part of the group. He wasn't a part of the in-group. He was tolerated as long as he was producing propaganda that served the movement's goals. For instance, saying derogatory things about Black Americans. But once the movement radicalized further, and they were saying those things themselves, the tolerance that they had for him evaporated. In other words, they no longer needed him to do the dirty work. They were doing it themselves. Now, what triggered this turn against him? Number one, open anti-Indian racism has surged in MAGA spaces. Even I have been surprised by some of the things that those people have said about him, given the fact that, he thought he was in with them. But one of them said online that D'Souza was part of a disgusting race of slaves. And D'Souza, as you would expect, was livid. He was visibly upset. He said he had never encountered that level of racism in 40 years in conservative politics. Now, somebody called him something that he had never been called before. And he just didn't believe that they would do that. But that's the trajectory that I was talking about. Many of the immigrants come in and they assimilate or try to assimilate into these conservative groups, thinking that's going to help them in America, not realizing that you'll never be a part of that group. And even when they tell them that, they still try really hard to get into these highly conservative groups. And this person saying that was not a one off, it was a part of a broader trend of these MAGA people, certain MAGA people, coming for Dinesh D'Souza. They'd had enough of him, they didn't need him anymore. Other Indian American conservatives are being targeted too. The same MAGA factions have attacked them. Kash Patel, the FBI director, was humiliated for something as simple as wishing people a happy Diwali. I think that's like a happy new year or something like that. Anyway, they attacked him on Twitter for just wishing his people a happy new year. Vivek Ramaswamy has been repeatedly told he will never be one of them. And I don't even know what they have to say to him at this point for him to get the message. And he's supposed to be smart. And Nikki Haley has also been targeted. She has been mocked for her Indian heritage and religious background. This shows the hostility isn't personal, it's racial. And some of the slurs that these people are saying are really, really awful. Like a Department of Homeland Security person was reported to use the term dot head diversity. I mean, they can come up with the weirdest stuff. And never trust a Chinaman or Indian. Never. That's what one of the MAGA people said. This is coming from inside the MAGA movement, not random trolls. And still not getting the point and thinking that he was really a part of the MAGA crowd. Dinesh D'Souza attempted to defend JD Vance and it backfired. Here's what happened. When he tried to defend JD Vance by claiming his ancestors were oppressed, low caste Hindus, he was publicly accused of lying because his own book said his family were Brahmins. This made him look opportunistic and dishonest even to conservatives. But here's the thing. JD Vance wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy, and it's about poor white people living in Appalachia, and he said that's where he came from. So when people were talking about JD Vance, Dinesh D'Souza then came in trying to say, well, he understood about somebody being, from Appalachia because he came from oppressed, low caste Hindus. But in his book, he said he was a Brahmin. I don't believe Dinesh D'Souza is a Brahmin because I looked for his caste some months ago and I couldn't find it. So when you are a Brahmin, it shouldn't be that hard to find because that's the top caste in India. Kamala Harris and Vivek Ramaswamy are Brahmins. Nikki Haley is a Sikh. And the other Indian, Bobby Jindal, who was governor of Louisiana and called himself running for president, and then that flamed out and he disappeared, was from a lower caste. I don't remember the caste. I don't think he was a Dalit, which is the lowest, but he was from like a mid to low level caste. But I could not find Dinesh D'Souza's caste. And when they are Brahmins, they announce it. So Dinesh D'Souza's embarrassment was televised because I just saw some MAGA people talking about him and laughing and making fun of him on a podcast a few minutes ago, which is why I'm doing this video. They were never cool with him. They were never cool with him. They liked his output. They liked the documentaries, the talking points, the attack on Democrats and black people, but they never embraced him as part of the cultural core of MAGA. He was a tool, not a tribe member. He was a mouthpiece, not a brother in arms. He was a political ally, not a cultural insider. And once the movement shifted into more explicit racial nationalism, he became a target, just like any other non white person. So the bigger pattern is that this is the same dynamic we've been watching with black MAGA influencers, black immigrant MAGA women, Ramaswamy, Kash Patel, Fresh and Fit, the Sudanese guy, Fresh and Fit, although the real Sudanese people say he's not Sudanese, that he's Arab. Even the Jamaican MAGA woman that was a candidate for a governor in Virginia, they all hit the same wall. MAGA would take your labor, your loyalty, and your content, but they will never grant you the privilege of belonging. So Dinesh D'Souza's wake-up call was televised. They wanted everybody to know that they had given him the wake-up call, that he was not a part of the true MAGA movement because he did not have the complexion for the protection. He did not have the lineage for what they are trying to do. So who knows how he will handle it? It remains to be seen, because if he goes back, he's going to get the same treatment. They didn't accept him then, and they won't accept him later. Somebody else gets the wake-up call. All we can do is sit back and watch and say, I could have told you, but you wouldn't have listened. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video and have a good day.